Cinema, matinee. I ain't got 750 to pay.
Boy, Roland Emmerich is one of the most creative, destructive sons of bitches I've ever seen. He destroyed the world with a monster, Godzilla. Then he destroyed the world with Mother Nature. He destroyed the world with aliens, too. But now he's destroying the world with a calendar.
No, the Mayans, they totally knew. It's like, really? Because their civilization disappeared thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
So they clearly weren't that good at clairvoyance. It's funny, though, because like that, he said this is his last disaster movie, which he pulled out all the stops, to be fair here. It's like, you know how you always see like one or two national big things you're familiar with get destroyed in his movies? Well, here, we destroyed them all. It's like the only thing they didn't destroy was stuff in the Middle East because he didn't want to get like, you know, his quote was, I don't want to be the next Salman Rushdie.
Roland Emmerich is known for just blowing shit up so much. I mean, he should do one more where it's him walking through the city, just tearing shit up.
That'd be great. He gets shot with a growthing ray, where he becomes the 50-foot man.
A growthing ray?
Not a shrink ray. You know, it's just making a
growthing ray.
I don't know what you call that.
Just in case you don't know what this title means, 2012, it has to do with the Mayan calendar, which the Mayans apparently predicted that on 2012, and in fact, it's what, the 21st of December?
Yeah, the winter solstice.
Yeah, on winter solstice, we will have a cataclysmic event where the planets all line up. We'll have some of the most active solar flares we've ever had before, and they will affect not only like the tidal waves of the Earth, but the Earth, our crust will shift like thousands of miles. Chiwetel Ejiofor is a scientist who figures out like, oh shit, due to his friend in India, he's like, all right, this is, and he figured this out in 2009. Yes, this is really happening.
But as he is a black man, it takes another 2 years for anybody listens to him.
Yeah, exactly. Wait till the last minute. Oh, the Negro was right. We go to the common man, which is John Cusack. Did I say his name right? Always
Cusack.
Cusack. All right, John Cusack. He's a writer, failed writer, only sold 500 of his books, so he should be ready to die anyway. But he's that guy who figures out, like, okay, something is happening, and I got to save my family. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but he is the guy that we root for. We can recognize him as us.
His wife has divorced him, and she's living with a new guy, and his kids are, his son is gravitating to the new guy, and he clearly still loves his kid, and there's still a spark between him and his wife. So it's almost like it takes the end of the world to get this couple back together.
John Cusack, I mean, he's the next Evel Knievel. A big canyon opens up. He's able to jump that with a limousine. There's something else. He's able to jump that with an ice cream truck. There's something else. He's able to get on a skateboard. There's something else. He's gonna try to say, who's doing this movie knows it's going to be dumb, but Roland Emmerich always finds a way to make it dumber. I mean, it's at one point you're like, okay, I'm buying this. And he's like, no, wait a minute, I can get dumber with this. I'm going to make a tightrope walking dog.
That little stuff doesn't really bother me. I mean, I get it sometimes because I actually look forward to Emmerich films. Emmerich feels like he is the natural extension of the silly disaster movies of the 70s, of the Towering Inferno and the Poseidon Adventure and stuff like that. Earthquake, which I love those movies.
And this was so very much one of those, to its core. It worked with all the silliness. I really only have one really bad thing I don't like about this movie, and that is 2.5 goddamn hours long. And because of that 2.5 hours, you have those silly moments that you don't like. After having so much momentum, there's a point where it really slows down. I started to check my watch. I'm like, wow, I'm actually kind of getting bored here.
The destruction is great. I just wish and as morbid as it sounds, I wish he would have pushed the death a little bit more.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, there's a lot of scenes where there's a destruction and you don't see people dying. And then when you do, they're tiny and in the background.
When it's like lava coming down out of volcanic eruptions, I really want to see somebody melt and burn. And I didn't get that.
Somebody like falling into a lava pit.
This really is more of a low matinee. It might even have been a rental, but you got to see it on the big screen if you're going to watch it. That's where you're going to get the full effect. Because when it's happening, man, it is a roller coaster ride.
I mean, this is the very definition of a matinee film. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, is it going to get nominated for any Oscars? Actually, it might get Best Special Effects.
I was thinking that,
because they are that good.
No, it's definitely a bad movie, but that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the special effects and get some good laughs. So, matinee. I mean, the moment you get a guy that comes on and does a bad Governor Schwarzenegger impersonation, you know this is a comedy.
This is so packed with cliches that you got to have. Chiwetel Ejiofor, he's the scientist with a heart. He has compassion. He wants to save people. But then you got to have a government guy who's an asshole who's like, hey, everybody else, you got to save me.
Oh, yeah.
Oliver Platt.
I have to say, he's the one that makes sense. There's scenes where Chiwetel Ejiofor is like, those people outside, we've got to save them. We cannot go out like this. Drop the bridge. And they drop the bridge and it lands on 1 million people.
It just like they kill a bunch of people listening to him trying to save them.
Maybe we should have sent a message first that we were dropping the bridge.
Okay, those motherfuckers got unlucky, but those behind them must live.
Gotta make it real.